episodes 1 and 2 of My Adventures with Superman, titled The Adventures of Normal Man, has made its debut. And after watching this show, spoilers, really liked it, really liked both episodes. I have nothing but I have a majority of positive things to say about it. I am exceptionally puzzled why this is an Adult Swim show. This is a Saturday morning cartoon if I'd ever seen one. Like, there's no blood. There's, no one uses real guns. Fucking Deathstroke's in it, and he doesn't use gun or swords. He uses batons. And this is clearly geared for, kids, maybe 8 to 10. But it's somehow an Adult Swim, and I guess somebody liked it enough that if no one else was gonna pick it up, Adult Swim would. So I'm like, weird, this is an Adult Swim show. And I guess, while I'm here and before I get into my glowing review of both episodes, I might as well get into my other this is not a negative, that's a perplexion. This is a negative. My only negative for both episodes 1 and 2 is the portrayal of Jimmy Olsen. And I'm just going to get this out of the way before I get into my glowing review of both episodes. In this one, they've decided to make Jimmy Olsen a conspiracy theorist, a YouTube show and all. It's funny, his YouTube show, Flamebird, is a reference to the two Kryptonian heroes trapped in the bottle city of Kandor. Flamebird and Nightwing, and of course, Robin eventually the first Robin, Dick Grayson, eventually becomes Nightwing, based on that inspiration. And it is cute that Superman's sidekick would be called Flamebird, and Batman's sidekick would refer to himself as Nightwing. It is cute. I do love that reference. That being said, it's a personal pet peeve, but I fucking hate when superhero shows have a conspiracy theorist as the main character, because it is the stupidest fucking gimmick ever. Because, the joke about having a conspiracy theorist in a superhero world, or a fantasy world, or a sci-fi world, is that they're always going to be proven right, and any of their annoying bullshit is just as the joke going, oh man, there's this, he mentions, guys, you gotta believe me, there's aliens and French talking gorillas, which of course in the DC universe there absolutely is, but doesn't stop it from being fucking grating. I'm just hoping that Jimmy Olsen gets more of a character as the series goes on, because right now Clark Kent and Lois Lane are three-dimensional people, and Jimmy Olsen is not. And they're the three people I gotta watch the whole show with. So please give Jimmy Olsen more to fucking do, because I hate him and he's annoying. Let's move on to the show now, because both episodes of the show are great. As I said before, both of them are titled The Adventures of Normal Man. This is a year zero portrayal of Superman, so it's just Clark learning to control. He's not quite there at being able to control his powers, but he is at the point where the only person who experiences the downside of being super is Clark, as opposed to the people around him. So thank God, He also doesn't seemingly have all of his powers yet. One thing I noticed was missing from the series is his signature heat vision, which is normally a very early power he gets. But no, this Superman can only super strength, super speed, flight. That's it so far. He'll probably get more as the series goes on, because like I said, it's year zero Superman. And that doesn't mean year one Superman. Year one Superman is Superman's a legend, and people look up to him, but they don't know who he is, and he's just getting the hang of being a superhero yet. Superman isn't even a superhero yet. And that's whatever. But anyway, let's talk about Clark Kent in this show, because we're talking about Superman all of a sudden. Clark Kent is really, really charming and goofy and just nerdy, and the sweetest lug you could ever possibly could possibly be birthed from Kansas is who this guy is. And Jack Quaid, his actor, who is famous for being on The Voice, does an amazing job portraying that wholesome self-doubt. It's just, I don't know, it's very good and very refreshing to see this portrayal of Superman. And then we have Lois Lane, who is, like, everybody's already made the joke that she's an adult version of Luz from the Owl House. And she is just an adult version of Luz from the Owl House in both design and personality. I mean, it's not the same voice actor, but sounds almost like the same voice actor. But yeah, no, Lois Lane is great. She's, once again, this is also a year zero Lois Lane, so she's not quite as, she hasn't had her spirit broken yet by, society. She is the least cynical we have, seen Lois Lane yet, but she's still selfish, outgoing, and incredibly good at her job, even if no one will respect her, since both Jimmy, Clark, and Lois are interns. But that's more of, like, the people world, the actual, like, fantasy and spectacle of this world, revolves around Clark learning his origins. And Clark, as a child, unlike every other version of Clark, when he finally gets to meet his spaceship, which is, normally the spaceship's about, like, the capsule. This spaceship's about, like, 3 times about the size of a skyscraper. And it's growing. The ship is growing, which is something to talk about. I'm gonna try and keep spoilers to a minimum, but I just thought that basically the thing that impresses me about this show, beyond it being it's a fine, cute superhero show. Superman shows up, he fights villains. The villains have twists. Like Livewire is the first villain of 1 and 2, first episode of 1 and 2, and like she's a standard criminal sending out giant robots. Like every first episode or first issue adventure of Superman usually goes. And she's fine for what she is. She's fine for what she is, and she's fine for what she has to accomplish. But really, the meat and potatoes of this show comes from the origin story of Superman. And I gotta tell you, it is so fucking hard to make Superman's origin both compelling and the cool part of your show, because it's the most boring part of Superman. Planet blows up, child lands in spaceship, Superman. Pfft, that's it. But no, they do a really good job. Like Clark, it's like through flashbacks. It's like through flashbacks and holographic projections put into Clark's head. We learn that Krypton probably died in a massive galactic war instead of some kind of completely preventable natural disaster that no one heeded the warning of. No, this is like it's shown in flashbacks. I'm like, once again, sorry for spoilers, but it's shown in flashbacks that at one point in time, Krypton had a yellow sun and the sun was poisoned red by whatever military force was taking on Krypton. So these Kryptonians might have been more like the Viltrumites from Invincible than the actual arrogant science assholes that they were in the normal comics. But it's interesting to see this in the flashback, just to see a Jor-el and Laura-El who are failures of a war, and trying to, and maybe if it goes the way it's supposed to go, it might, so far there's been so many twists about this origin that it might go in a different direction, but maybe it's like Smallville, and this version of Jor-El is just no, dude, I fucked up, and I want you, Clark, to live on this planet with these humans because I want you to I just want you to have a simpler, better life than I could have possibly had. Maybe there's a reoccurring, maybe there's a funny thing where even though Superman will have powers and this, maybe Jor-El is the person, or his human parents who encourage him to do good. Maybe Jor-El's no, dog, I sent you to Earth to chill out. I don't want you to deal with intergalactic conflict like I had to. I don't want you to re-experience my failures. Or he could be evil because he has an eye patch. And anytime Jor-El has an eye patch, that means he's Mr. Oz, but we don't know yet. But yeah, like I said, this is a heartwarming show for children that just so happens to be on Adult Swim. And so far, it's It's coming out on all cylinders. The animation is beautiful. The writing is great. The origin story for Superman is the cool part of the show, which, like I said, is impossible to do, and they accomplish the impossible. And it's the first episode got such good numbers, they're already working on season 2. So there's more to come, and I'm going to review it. But yeah, no, it just as a show that's about Superman learning to be Superman, I'm just surprised it's as good as it is.